My Microsoft recruiter finally got back to me. It's been like 6 months. It looks like they finally realized the skills I bring to the table. I guess I can sign since they're begging for me. Psych! I think all of us can relate to being led on, used, and ghosted by a recruiter before, but I doubt any of you went through the trials and tribulations that Keivan Benji, the founder of AppGet, went through with Microsoft. Unless you are Keivan, and in that case, I'm sorry for mispronouncing your name.
Keivan.
Now, back in the day, Windows had a serious problem. It didn't have a native package manager like the other operating systems. Linux had apt, Mac had Homebrew, and Windows had the Xbox Game Store. Instead, there were third-party package managers like Chocolatey, but they had some serious flaws. Some allowed the execution of unknown PowerShell scripts, while others were just not intuitive to use. And that's where AppGet comes to save the day. It was intuitive, secure, and Windows developers loved using it, so it garnished popularity within the scene. And of course, its popularity caught the attention of Microsoft. In 2019, an engineer from Microsoft reaches out to Keivan saying how much they love AppGet and that they would love to meet up with him in person. And of course, for an open source developer, this is a huge opportunity and hopefully can lead to a future partnership between the two. So of course, he agreed to the meeting. And of course, knowing Microsoft, it was a 5-star elegant restaurant and things were going well, maybe a little too well. They talked about the ideas behind AppGet, problems with current package managers on Windows, and the future plans of AppGet. Microsoft even asked how they can help him out, and obviously it was with delicious Azure credits. Things seem to have gone extremely well. Microsoft was receptive of Keivan's suggestions and even made a small commitment to AppGet by providing some much needed Azure credits. There's no way this partnership will fail. It's just too brilliant. Wait, did you guys just say brilliant? If you're looking to develop the skills required to build incredible projects that could potentially catch the eyes of companies like Microsoft, then Brilliant is the perfect place to start. They have fun, interactive lessons that are specifically designed to help you learn a wide range of topics, from programming to AI, and for me specifically, math. And even though everyone whispers in my ear that I don't need to learn math to code, but I know for any project more complex than my basic React app, I'm going to need some math. That's why I've been using Brilliant to brush up on my calculus skills at home and on the go, if you know what I mean. To learn for free on Brilliant, go to brilliant.org/basicdev, scan the QR code on screen, or click the link in the description below. Brilliant's also given my viewers, aka you guys, 20% off an annual premium subscription, which gives you unlimited daily access to everything on Brilliant. So thank you, Brilliant, for sponsoring this video, and welcome back everyone that just skipped. I see you. You should be ashamed of yourself. I can't believe you're taking food out of my daughter's mouth. Now let's return to the AppGet saga where everything seems perfect. A few weeks after the meetup, Keivan gets another email from Microsoft. At first, they started off with something light talking about the Azure credits, but then things got spicy. They say they want to make a team that is specific for package managers and software distribution on Windows. And then they said, with that in mind, have you considered spending more time dedicated to AppGet and potentially at Microsoft? Wink, wink. And if that doesn't mean she's into you, then I don't know what will. It was pretty clear they wanted Keivan on the package manager team. However, Keivan was a little hesitant at first. He didn't want to end up on some random team at Microsoft. After some discussion, Microsoft said he would only be working on AppGet, and they decided on an acqui-hire structure. Microsoft would hire him and AppGet would come along, and it would be up to Microsoft if they wanted to rename the product to something else later on. But then things started to get messy. It was really unclear to Keivan what his role would be at Microsoft. He was never really told what his responsibilities would be, who would he report to, who or anyone would report to him. None of these questions were being answered throughout the entire process. And after months, he was told the acqui-hire process would actually take a very long time, so an alternative was needed. They said they can hire him with a bonus, and then they can work on migrating the code ownership after. Keivan agreed to this, so they set up some meetings in Redmond, which, keep in mind that he's from Vancouver, Canada. It's not very far, but it's still a bit of a trip for him. He went through the standard Microsoft interview process, but then at the end, he talked with the original engineer who really wanted him on the team. That discussion was about what they would do after all of these formalities were done and how they would move AppGet over to Microsoft and handle Microsoft Scale, all of the interesting stuff, getting ready for AppGet to come to Microsoft. So by all metrics, it seems like Keivan and AppGet were moving over to Microsoft. And you can probably see where this is going. After the interview, Keivan didn't hear anything back for 6 months. No status updates, no messages back and forth, no contributions to AppGet, nothing. He got ghosted harder than most of you after a date. And that's probably because you're too good looking and she doesn't deserve you. Keep your head up, king. Your crown is slipping.
You always keep your head up. Keep your head up, man. Gonna be alright. Just hold on to that.
Unless you're my 0.001% of female viewership, then keep your head up, queen. But then out of the blue, Keivan gets an email. Now let me read this email to you in the way I think it was meant to be read. Hi Keivan, wave emoji. I hope you and your family are doing well. BC seems to have a good handle on COVID compared to us. LOL. I'm so sorry that the PM position didn't work out. I wanted to take the time and tell you how much we appreciated your input and insights.
We're sorry. Sorry.
This might be a little awkward. We have been building a Windows package manager and the first preview will go live tomorrow at build. We give AppGet a call out in our blog post, so you're welcome, since we believe there will be space for different package managers on Windows. You will see that our package manager is based on GitHub too, but obviously with our own implementation, our package manager will be open source too, so obviously we would welcome any contribution from you. Unpaid, of course. Love Microsoft. XOXO. Obviously, I added a little bit of detail for dramatic effect, but that's how I read it. Now, Keivan wasn't actually surprised about this email. He figured he wasn't going to get the Microsoft job a few months ago. But when he finally saw the announcement, he was shocked, upset, and wasn't even sure what he was looking at. Their new package manager was named WinGet, which was a straight rip from Keivan's AppGet. And when looking through the WinGet open source, he didn't need any help navigating. The core mechanics, terminology, the manifest format, and structure, even the package repository folder structure was very inspired by AppGet. And since WinGet was so heavily inspired by AppGet, I bet Microsoft gave a huge shout out to Keivan and AppGet.
I'm joking.
Nope, not at all. You guys already knew that was sarcasm. AppGet was only mentioned under the section of alternative package managers that just happened to exist. And rightfully so, Keivan was a little upset. He wasn't necessarily upset that they ripped his code. He understood that as an open source project, that's just the name of the game. He was more so upset about how little recognition AppGet got. WinGet was pretty much identical to AppGet, which is not common for package managers. Homebrew, Chocolatey, all of them have different implementations and different guides, but WinGet and AppGet were pretty much identical. But the Microsoft team gave so little recognition to Keivan and even ghosted him for the majority of the time. Now, of course, this treatment sparked public backlash. It got so bad that Microsoft finally had to respond. And you already know, I love a good Microsoft response. The original program manager that had been edging Keivan this entire time made a post, and in true Microsoft fashion, it was barely an apology. He just talked about how WinGet is free and open source, so what they did was actually okay and good for the community. Which I obviously understand when plans change and things have to go a different way, but ghosting, stealing someone's idea, and not giving them credit is not a great approach to building a sustainable product, especially in open source. Sadly, right after the release of WinGet, Keivan shut down AppGet. He knew he didn't have the marketing power to compete with Microsoft, and since WinGet was inspired by AppGet and most of the features are identical, there wasn't an incentive for users to pick AppGet over WinGet. In all honesty, Keivan took this whole thing in stride, and you can read more about it in his blog post that I'm going to link down in the description to get it from his perspective. It's honestly pretty great, so make sure you check it out. And I actually got the idea for this video from comments left by viewers just like you, so I really do appreciate all of you watching and subscribing. And judging by Microsoft's past actions, they might grab this video and put it on their own YouTube channel, so be before that happens, make sure you like and subscribe, and hopefully it spreads faster than theirs. And since you watched all the way to the end, I'm gonna give you a little kiss.